Hey there, Colin from the Sumthins, and we are back with video 3 in the 1 hour mix series. Today we're going to be going over how to create space in the mix with EQ. Coming up next. Now there are a bunch of different EQs. Probably too many of them.
There are too many of them. What are we going to do?
But don't panic, I'm going to be using the stock EQ inside of Studio One today, and I would encourage you to use the stock EQ in your DAW so you can get used to the way it works and be a lot more confident in the moves that you're making. So once again, don't forget to download the tracks below and follow along as we breathe some life into this track. Let's get started. Okie dokie, here we are back in Studio One. Now I know I said let's get started, but before we do, there's a couple things I want to go over in the time before this video. There's a couple changes I've made to my template, and I want to implement those real quick before we get started. So I started using, I may have talked about this before, maybe I should have watched the video before I started this, but I started using room emulations, because when I record drums here in my studio, I just have a mono room mic up. But here is a couple room emulations. So there's a close mic, and then there's a far mic. So it just gives the drums a little bit more stereo feel. We'll mess with that in a second. The effects are good. I do want to get rid of these. I haven't used these in a while. This acapella and instrument bus are just if I want to sidechain compress the vocals against the instruments. So if I want the instruments to duck every time the vocals sing, but I haven't used that technique in actually a long time. So we're going to get rid of those. We'll just route all of these buses here to mix A. We may actually experiment with parallel compression on the entire mix. We'll have to see in one of the later videos. Now, I have stopped mixing through the limiter. I still check it every now and then, but I've changed my mixing level. And with the limiter in, everything's just a bit too loud. I guess I could lower everything here, but I've just got a better feel mixing with the limiter off. So we're going to disable that for now. Hopefully the volume of the mix is still okay. We're still going to start with this chorus here. Now, before I kick the timer in, I'm going to I'm going to send all of these drums to the Bricasti close and the Bricasti far. Now, something you can do here is you can get these impulse responses. They're, if I remember correctly, they're from Simplicity. So if you Google Simplicity Bricasti impulses, you should find these. So it's Rooms 2, Studio B close mics, and then I believe the same thing, the far mics. So we're going to put those in, and if you don't, if all else fails, you could just grab your stock reverb and do, it's like 2-3 second reverbs, just to give a little bit more stereo feel. And if you luck out and you do get stereo rooms, then you don't need these. But these are always a big help with just mono rooms. All right, so I just put those in quickly. You see I did narrow them up with this binaural pan plugin. Studio One has a single panner here for stereo tracks, which I actually think is kind of cool. So you bring in this plugin to narrow them up a little bit. So it's about 54% on each side. It seemed a little bit too wide and unnatural on both of them, so I pulled them in a little bit, and then you saw I pulled the gain down on the actual plugin. They were a bit hot, but they're pretty subtle. Take a listen one more time. Okay, not a huge difference, but it just adds some width, makes the drums seem like they were recorded in a bit of a bigger room. All right, so we're just going to add everything back in real quick and make sure the balances are still okay, and then we'll move on. Okie dokie, everything seems all right. So now we're gonna get to EQing. So I have my handy dandy timer up here, and we are going to get to work.
To me you won't ever be the same, so please come back. I miss you, sleep at night, but only in my dreams could it be this right. To me it won't ever be the same, so please come back. I miss you, Jane. I'll send my love on a shooting star. Send it fast and I'll send it far. Hear your voice in my sleep at night, but only in my dreams could it be this right. To me it won't ever be the same, so please come back. I miss you, Jane. I'll send my love on a shooting star. Send it fast and I'll send it far. Hear your voice in my sleep at night, but only in my dreams could it be this right. To me it won't ever be the same, so please come back. I miss you, Jane. I'll send my love on a shooting star. Send it fast and I'll send it far. Hear your voice in my sleep at night, but only in my dreams could it be this right. To me it won't ever be the same, so please come back. I miss you, Jane. Send my love on a shooting star. I send it fast and I'll send it far. I hear your voice in my sleep at night, but only in my dreams could it be this right. To me it won't ever be the same, so please come back. I miss you, Jane. Send my love on a shooting star. I send it fast and I'll send it far. I hear your voice in my sleep at night, but only in my dreams could it be this right. To me it won't ever be the same, so please come back. I miss you, Jane. Send my love on a shooting star. I'll send it fast and I'll send it far. Hear your voice in my sleep at night, but only in my dreams could it be this right. No. I'll send my love on a shooting star. I'll send it fast and I'll send it.
Okie dokie, time is up there. I don't know if we got everything. I was trying to catch the last few things in those couple minutes there at the end. We didn't do the toms, so maybe we can get to the toms in the next video because I don't think we will have to compress everything. We definitely had to EQ everything. The bass, I was trying to boost some upper mids there, but I'm not sure if that's going to come through all the way. We might have to experiment with some distortion, maybe duplicating the track. The guitars sounded okay. I brought the high-pass filter up in the previous videos, but I think I needed to bring some low end back in there around the 200 hertz area. The piano just needed a whole bunch of top end and a little bit of that ringing frequency in the low mids there. The vocals, you saw me trying to take out a little bit of that low mid area. I'm just afraid that's going to come up when we put the compressor on, but we will have to get to that later. I think we did all right. I mean, I'm not too used to EQing all the tracks in under 10 minutes, but I think we came out all right. So one more time, I'll play you guys that last chorus, and then we'll finish things out here. Whoop, had it in mono. Here we go. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe below to be notified of all new videos as they come out. The multi-tracks are completely free along with this video series, so download the tracks, practice EQing, and leave any questions you do have in the comments. Happy mixing. I'll see you in the next one.